Hey guys, Huzzy bringing you another video. Now before I come up in the chair, I just have to give some people a warning. Things are a bit different and you'll get, well, the explanation to it is the subathon. But, hello there. So yeah, the subathon was a success. And obviously one of the goals of the subathon was shave my beard. Hilariously, I'm a bit ahead in content at the moment. So in the next few days, the commentaries that you're going to be watching, I still have a beard. But this is a Patchnote video that I'm recording now and uploading tonight. So I couldn't really avoid not showing you, you know? So I did record shaving it, so I'll include that in a gameplay in the next few days. But yeah, it does feel a bit weird. And I will say, just very quickly before we get to Patchnote, my face is a little bit angry because of it. Obviously, it was a lot of hair to shave off. I did cut myself twice, like once here and once down here. So yeah, I've cut myself a couple times. And I've moisturized once already. I'm going to do a whole moisturizing thing tonight. And I'm just going to kind of make sure the skin's okay. Because obviously it's quite sensitive skin because it's been hidden away for a decade. I had a beard for a decade. And yes, I am growing it back straight away. Don't worry about that. But let me know what you think. On stream, we had a mix of some people thought I was younger, looked younger. Some people said I looked older. I think I look like maybe 1 to 2 years younger than I normally do. But I'm not sure. Let me know. Anyway, first reminder is this is a 3-week-long patch due to Riot's mid-year break. Worth also knowing, this is be the last patch of Split 1 in Ranked. So, yeah. But the big thing as well, which is nice because it's been so annoying, adjusting items like STATIK SHIV, sorry, LeBlanc. Also, sorry to other champions that have just been going nuts with it right now. It has taken a bit over. So, we're getting nerfs to Annie, Aphelios, Ivan, Kindred, Nico, Rek'sai, Varus, Vi, Wukong, buffs to Lee Sin, hello, my boy, Nidalee, a Nivea adjustment, I don't even know what that is, and Rell. And then system changes to Duskblade, Essence, STATIK SHIV, Stormrazor, new Elderwood skins, Victorious and Nivea also being the Victorious skin, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, very cool. So, mid-season ranked resets, so ranked rewards, you get them if you're on a level 2 or above. And if you're gold, you had to hit very little points. I think it was like 80 points worth of games. If you're not gold, you could still achieve the Victorious skin. You needed 1,600 points, which I think Riot said roughly working out is going to be about 200 games. So if you're iron, bronze, or silver, you can still get the skin. The ranked end and start dates. So July 16th, account transfers to be disabled. July 17th, ranked queues go down. And then it's a 3-hour gap. Ranked queues will turn back on. Oh, but ranked games will not count towards Split 1 or Split 2 rewards. Oh, right, that's weird. July 19th is when ranks reset. Wait, what? Oh, it's region specific, so we'll have to see when ours resets. So basically it means I may as well have a bit of a break playing ranked on the 18th. What day is the 18th? Let's check. The 18th is a Tuesday. That's fine. 1 day break from ranked is never bad. And then the start time, yeah, so we're July 19th. On EU West, July 19th, 12. So on the strike of midnight, on the 19th, I presume, ranked Split 2 begins. Cool. Nice. And then any changes are in ranked Split 2, no promotional series, they're gone. We reduced the amount of placement games from 10 to 5 and adding Emerald tier. We've obviously spoken about all this before, but yeah, it's quite cool. Right, so Annie. I do use Annie for climbing, partially because she's a good champion when you're feeling a bit tired or a bit burnt out, and obviously I'm streaming, so she's a good champion when you're a bit distracted with Twitch chat as well. But also, she's become very good against current play. Again, the whole STATIK SHIV meta of squishy AD carries and LeBlanc, Annie's good against all those champions. So she has been very effective for me in the last couple weeks. So they're just doing a bit of a nerf to her Q, 10 base damage and a 5% ability nerf. I think this is fine. I think her damage is still going to be good. And if anything, I agree that her damage has been a bit too silly. So I'm completely fine with nerf. And this hopefully is the thing, and like the video if you agree, is refreshing. A lot of content creators, when their champions get nerfed, they kick up a big fuss and they go, what the hell's Riot doing? They're nerfing my champion. A lot of the time I agree when champions are needing nerfs. Like even when I was playing a lot of Anivia and Anivia got nerfed, I was fine with it, you know? My only thing is, like, I'm fine with my champions to get nerfed. There are some champions that I think are a bit immune to getting nerfed. That's the only thing. Like, there's still no Hecarim nerfs. Like, what? So, yeah, that's the only thing. So, Velios Strong has been a Velios recently. So, Savernum Lifesteal decreased, Gravitum Slow Duration decreased, and Crescendium Base Attack Speed decreased. So, just nerfs across the board for a bunch of his different weapons. Ivan... I have still no idea why they made Ivan into an absolute damage monster. It was really weird. So his base and magic damage on hit for his W, when he stands in a bush, he gets the bonus damage, is going down considerably, like a lot, 10 damage per rank when it's not incredibly high to begin with of base damage, and a 10% ability power nerf. That is enough that it might make AP Ivan go away. The base movement speed is going down for Daisy, and the base damage is also going down, being halved. So yeah, damage Ivan, I think, is going away. So it's going to be back to utility Ivan, which is still going to be pretty strong. Kindred, base health and armor decreased. So yeah, I've also been finding Kindred is risen to popularity. Triforce especially. She's so tanky for like a pure AD carry champion. Ridiculously tanky. So giving her 30 less health at level 1 and 3 less armor, sorry. It will just take that little bit of excess tankiness that I don't think she should really have. So I agree with that. Lee Sin, or what are they doing? Q damage increased. Okay, cool. So Lee Sin has been fairly weak in solo queue, and he hasn't seen much pro play either. But we're increasing the scaling. I was about to say the only thing that I hope they do is give him scaling, because that's what he struggles with. Sonic Wave damage, giving 5% more bonus AD scaling. And it basically is across the board the same buff. So the minimum damage of the resonating strike, so the initial Q is the Sonic Wave, and then the resonating strike is him coming towards the person, is basically, yeah, just getting 5% more AD bonus, and then the maximum damage, because obviously it's an execute, is 10% bonus AD, but no base damage buff. I mean, it's still going to feel good. I've played a couple of Lee Sin games recently, one in solo queue, or 2 in solo queue, 1 in Clash. He hasn't felt terrible. He just has felt nowhere near the same strength as like Hecarim, Kha'Zix, Rengar. He just isn't that level. But hopefully this will help a bit, because he's just got such an enjoyable playstyle that I really enjoy. Nico Ni, so yeah, it's been very strong since her rework, obviously. So Q cooldown increased, W damage adjusted, and R adjusted. So the Q cooldown is now actually becoming scaling, where before it wasn't. So this is a nerf. So it will feel the same when it's maxed. The W proc bonus damage is going down across the board. But down across the board early, but actually it evens out of rank 3, and it's actually then a buff later into the game. There you go. And then the ulti is Nico is disguised for the entire 1.25 duration cast time. That's changing, because again, some people are like, it's just impossible to react against. You can't even flash against it because you don't know it's happening. Nico is disguised for the first 0.5 seconds of the cast, and then she is revealed for the remaining 0.57 seconds. 0.7, yeah. So for 3/4 of a second, you have time to react. And it's still a narrow window, but there is enough time with good reactions. You can flash away or dash away. I think that is healthier, because yeah, it wasn't healthy before, that you literally couldn't react. The only thing that you could react to, obviously, is spotting if it was a Nico. That is it. Like counting the minions. Is there any weird movement going on? That's it. But yeah. Nidalee, a champion that I'd be surprised if Nidalee ever becomes actual proper meta ever again. She is such kind of a one-dimensional champion in many aspects that is basically a worse version of others. And she's very high risk. And here's the thing, she's high risk, and I wouldn't even say anymore high reward. There is just better champions than Nidalee that on equal footing do better than her. In stronger footing, so, you know, if Nidalee does better than a champion, it's not guaranteed that she'll absolutely snowball like a Hecarim or something. And then if she does bad, Nidalee is useless. That's the thing. So her movement speed is going up, which again will help her in ganks and stuff. But still, that's not enough to make her meta. Ever. Rek'sai. So Rek'sai obviously got a change to make Rek'sai from the AD Assassin version that we've had over the last 1 to 2 years to going back to being a bruiser. I have seen, by the way, even in today's ranked stream, some Rek'Sais just don't do a lot of damage anymore. And they're going to do even less now. So base attack damage 61 to 58 and base health 640 to 600. So that's a considerable nerf. 40 health at rank 1. That's a lot of health. And then, yeah, 3 base attack damage. So that is pretty big nerfs for Rek'Sai. Some changes to Rell. So Rell support's been dominating recently, so they're just going to tone it down. I've personally not seen many Rells, but I've heard that she's incredibly tanky. And if they do okay in lane, you cannot kill them. So they're just nerfing that, I guess. So health regeneration growth decreased, base MR decreased, MR growth decreased, Q damage to monsters increased, so helping her jungle clear. W shield decreased, dismounted attack speed adjusted, and E monster damage increased. So they're shifting some of her just base strength in especially bot lane into the jungle by the look of it. So that'll be interesting. So you can see here, they're making a note. If you're going to jungle Rell, note max Q now. That's basically what they're saying, which is interesting. I still don't think I've seen one jungle Rell, though, in my own solo queue games. Dismounted attack speeds being flattened to 30, so buff in the early game, nerf to late game. And again, more damage over her E to monsters. Varus, again, very strong champion. AP Varus has been causing quite a ruckus recently, especially in top lane. Yeah, it's been awful. It's certainly an interesting build and quite strong, but its unique niche is ideal 1000 plus 60% your maximum health at 1200 range. Yeah, it's really kind of boring to play against. We're glad that he cares about blight stacks, but it's a bit too maximum health damage, so we're hoping to keep Varus builds. We're hoping to keep all Varus builds viable with while giving high health champions more of a fighting chance. So they're actually buffing the AP ratio on his on hit because they're nerfing his maximum health damage, keeping the base the same, but toning down how much he gets from AP. So it used to be an extra 2.5% of target's maximum HP per 100 ability power. It's now 1.5. So don't get me wrong, he's still going to do a lot of damage. It's still going to be a, dare I say, toxic playstyle to play against, anti-fun, anti-skill. And again, I hold that opinion, and you can have a different one than me, but I don't value the AD carries that aren't really supposed to do these type of builds. Varus, Kai'Sa, Zeri, from over a screen away, being able to near enough kill you in one spell. I don't find that one good for League or skillful in any regard. And I wish they didn't really let that happen, but for some reason, Riot is okay with it. Vi. Passive shield decreased, RQ cooldown increased. I presume this is a pro play thing. I have vaguely heard, because I do hear about pro play in my Twitch chat a bit. I don't see Vi's basically at all, but I have heard, oh, Vi's being played a lot in pro play. So her shield scaling is going down, which again will, as you can see here, reduce her Radiant Virtue synergy. And then her ulti is going up on cooldown. So this is one of those kind of nerfs. Do I think Vi is a problem in solo queue? God, no. I don't think she's at all a problem. I wouldn't even put her in the top 5 of junglers right now. And yet she's being nerfed because of pro play, not solo queue. Yet this change is going to make her worse in solo queue. It's the nature of the game. Wukong, E damage to monsters modifier removed. So it's letting him do the full amount of damage. So there you go. His jungle clear will be better. Items. So this is the bug fix to specifically Katarina and Samira. If you've seen more Katarinas and Samiras in the last 2 weeks, it's because those players are arguably knowingly abusing a bug. And Riot, unfortunately, couldn't fix the bug until a patch. And for those who are like, what was the bug? You can see here, scoring a takedown while you are channeling no longer procs the Duskblade's untargetability. So if you were channeling your ulti as either Samira or Katarina, and you got a takedown during the ultimate, you then became completely untargetable while the channeling was going on for the entire duration of your ult. So even though the duration, obviously, of Drakthar is, what, a second or a second and a half, I think, for untargetability, if you had 2 or 3 seconds to go with Samira ulti or Katarina ultimate, you'd be untargetable the whole duration of your ulti. It was a bit strong. So obviously I ban Katarina every game, so I've not had to deal with that, but I've seen a lot of Samiras. So that will bring those down a little bit to a good level. They are, by the way, also saying Misfortune Ultimate was part of this as well. But the big two that I heard of, probably because they were the two most unhealthy, because they were in the middle of your team spinning, and then you couldn't do anything about it, was Katarina and Samira. Essence Reaver. Oh, interesting. They're changing the Spellblade damage to 130% of your base AD and only 20% bonus, where it used to be 100% of your base AD, 40% bonus. Ooh. Okay, so champion power comes from both their inherent kit and the systems, runes, items, spell. The player chooses the opt-in for the... I wonder why they're doing this. Is it to potentially nerf like Rengar's damage output and Draven's output with it? Potentially. Because the late game damage of even having Essence Reaver was crazy high. This is gonna hurt, I'd imagine, the overall damage of it. It'll help it early because you'll get more from it in the early game because you don't have too much bonus AD the moment you buy this. So it'll go off more your base. But the more then items you've got, yeah. So you can see here, champions start become button presses for their item, looking you Ezreal and Rengar. Again, this has actually been a major complaint of mine. You've heard me say it for now a few years. Riot's ethos has moved away from champions being the strong identity to now items feel more important than champions. And I definitely think it's true. And I wish it wasn't. But it's interesting that Riot's actually, I think, hilariously for the first time ever acknowledged if the item ratios are too high, some champions start to become button pressers for their item. The champion is the actual important thing, the item is the important thing, not the champion. I genuinely think that's the first time Riot's ever acknowledged that. So that's actually interesting to me. STATIK Shiv. STATIK Shiv has gained a few surprising users. And while we're excited to see players figure out cool ways, it's not really that cool though, is it? It's important that items don't produce poor gameplay when optimized. Yeah, it's been awful. 2 weeks. Shivers and AP ratio, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Kai'Sa, Vayne, Varus, Teemo, example users, and its best blah, 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 blah. So, what are they doing? Whoa! Wow, that wave clear is gone. So, for minion damage, it's doing the base damage, which is the same, but it then used to do 125% extra damage off your AP, 0% AP ratio scaling. That's it. So this item will no longer just clear a minion wave straight away. Woo. And then also the energized non-minion damage, so that extra poke that it's still doing, it's going to be doing less. Oof. It says it's possible that LeBlanc and Zoe still enjoy STATIK Shiv with these changes, but the gameplay around those builds should be much fairer for the opponents, because that's been the problem. It's what I've said before. An item shouldn't inherently completely get rid of a weakness. And Zoe and LeBlanc and other examples, their weakness has always been wave clear. That they basically have no actual wave clear unless they use all their spells for wave clear, and then that leaves them nothing to trade. What the STATIK Shiv was giving them was you can auto attack once, the whole wave is cleared, and then you can use all your spells to trade with the opponent. There was no negative. I still think it's borderline unhealthy to even let things like Kai'Sa and stuff use it, but at least this is a major nerf. So hopefully bye STATIK Shiv meta. You will not be missed. Stormrazor. Basically, they're saying similar things to Essence Reaver that's happening to Stormrazor. The item is becoming more powerful than the champions using it, so they're trying to tone it down. So energized damage was 15. It's now 90, which is a lot more. But it was 60% of your AD. It's now 25, and 0% AP scaling was 50. So yeah, just they're toning it down and shifting it away. But yeah, this, by the way, is a Rengar nerf. So the Rengars that go Stormrazor, it was a strong item on him. That is going away. ARAM adjustments, Mythic Shop rotation, bye-bye Aatrox, bug fixes. Again, always useful to read through, especially champions that you may play. And then the new skins. But there we go. Not the biggest patch in the world. But just reminding everyone, this patch is going to last 3 weeks. So don't expect a Patchnote video from me in the next 2 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks, which obviously is going to bring us roughly, as I said, around this area, July 19th, 20th will be the next patch. Officially, yeah, July 19th will be the next patch. So my next patch note video will be July 18th. Anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully the shaveless or beardless Huzz has not freaked you out too much. It won't take me too long to grow it back. I'm estimating I'll have a vague beard kind of going on in 2 weeks. And then I think maybe it'll take a month for it to be like back to normal. But yeah, it's not that bad, I think. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, do throw a like on it. Let me know what you think down below and subscribe if you're not a member, by the way. It'll be linked down below. The Subathon Giveaway is happening, so get yourselves entered in that. But again, that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime.